Hello again, thanks for stopping by. Please like and subscribe. I am revisiting the plight of black women who are homeless. The Black Women in the United States 2022 report noted that many African American women often experience years of pay disadvantages, minimal access to employer-sponsored plans, and lack of overall wealth accumulation that increases their reliance on Social Security. The result is that black women are at risk of poverty in their retirement years, especially those who are over 65 who have the lowest household income of any demographic group in America. Also, black women often have lower marriage rates and higher divorce rates. Therefore, they are less likely to qualify for Social Security spouse or widow benefits that is double that of white women. So, when black women in large numbers frequent shelters, warming stations, and feeding programs, the usual stereotypic thoughts to white people become homeless, such as substance abuse or mental illness, do not fully adequately explain the reasons influencing African American women increasingly plunge into homelessness, explained in the study, Helping Older African American Women Get and Stay Out of Homelessness. Many of these women have contributed much to their communities, families, and households, yet they unexpectedly became homeless, the study also pointed out. An African American woman who once lived on Detroit streets spoke truth to power when she said, "I have 3 strikes against me. I'm a woman, poor, and black." While her quote was published in a 2006 book telling my story at the edge of recovery, 8 African American women's journey from homelessness in Detroit, her observation remains true today about the powerful intersection of race, gender, and poverty that puts black women at substantial risk of becoming homeless, said researchers who piloted the project. Also, negative racial and sexual stereotypes and stigma coupled with the fact that many African Americans disproportionately experience health-related problems and live in poverty increase the risk of falling into homelessness. Homelessness was not merely an accident for the Detroit woman. It was a social location formed by the intersection of multiple structural factors, ones that finally produced a horrific situation. It continues by citing housing cost burdens and eviction as a contributing factor to grossly disproportionate rates of homelessness among people of color, saying that once housing is lost, racist housing practices prevent people from becoming rehoused. It is thus unsurprising that there is a heavy overrepresentation of people of color in the homeless population. Continuing with examples of incarceration, the report quotes an academic report, Pervasive Poverty, How the Criminalization of Poverty Perpetuates Homelessness, as annual funding for public housing plummeted from $27 billion in 1980 to $10 billion at the decade's end. Corrections funding surged from nearly $7 billion to $26.1 billion, transforming the U.S. prison system into the primary provider of affordable housing and many of its jails into the largest homeless shelters in town. Housing Not Handcuffs describes the situation where a boom in jail and prison populations, disproportionately experienced by poor communities of color, combines with how disproportionate arrests of homeless people contribute to the problem of mass incarceration, the criminalization of poverty, and racial inequality, adding to the academic report's conclusions. The exact causes of this disparity aren't necessarily known, and the perfect solution isn't either, but different organizations are trying, like the National Alliance to End Homelessness and the National Law Center on Homelessness and Poverty. Whatever the cause, the trend has been going for years. As always, I try to bring stories you can learn from, and maybe help women who are going through some hard times. Well, that's it for now. This is Reno in the Cave. I'm out. Until next time.